Child reunion is only emotion away. I'm going to talk about Amanda Knox today, about the Wall Street protesters, about economics, about tariffs, and about the piece of shit cable television media corporate freaking promoted pieces of shit that they are. I don't know if any of you can follow the Amanda Knox. I'm sure, well, everybody has. And anybody who doesn't understand the fascination of the Amanda Knox case knows nothing about passion. Nothing. You know I'm an artist. You know I write whatever. If you don't know by now that I really am a classical romantic in the literal text. I mean, Shakespeare himself would have been proud of this one. And speaking of Shakespeare, sweet are the uses of adversity. How sweet, I mean, that girl, talk about amazing. Talk about incredible. I woke up about 3 a.m. I'm writing my book. I'm almost done with it. I wake up, I write. Right as she's getting ready to beg the courts for mercy. Wow. You know, Raphael goes first, and holy cow. If that didn't create emotion in you, boy, something's the matter with you. How incredible is that young one? Talk about an icon of that culture. Look, as baby boomers, we all have sons and daughters. I have beautiful daughters that are that exact age who have studied abroad. If this didn't make you emotional, this overzealous prosecutor, and I'll tell you what says everything about Amanda Knox. Everything. You know, if you watched when the verdict was given, and what her holy cow, if that didn't choke you up, something is the matter with you. Look, I'll tell you what says everything about that young woman. Everything. When they took her back to the prison, and they had reporters outside the prison, did you hear the roars coming out of the prison? Holy cow. Wow. You know, and I like to say something. As far as the Italian justice system and our justice system, you know, it comes down to right and wrong. You know, at least the Italian, yeah, it took a long time with this overzealous, nutty, crazy prosecutor. But you know what? They got it right. Bravo, magnifico. They got it right. We don't get it right here. Compare her to the Troy Davis case. Yeah, it was horrible the injustice was done to those two, but they did fix it, and they did get it right. Look at Troy Davis. We wouldn't even bother. DNA set her free. DNA, we wouldn't even look at it for him. We executed him. So here in America, we got no right to say anything. There shouldn't be one pundit say a fucking word about our media. And speaking of our media, you know, I've been paying attention because I see Aaron Burnett's got a new show, and Mark Haynes, who defied death and laughed at death forever, used to make fun of it, eat ice cream, Cheetos, and, you know, laugh, ha ha ha, wears boxers to work, was a metaphor for freaking anybody who defies death in, you know, in its face is one arrogant motherfucker. Boy, I'm telling you, talk about arrogance, my God. You know, so she got a new show on. And, you know, there's a bunch of us vloggers around. I really have built a network over the last year. It's amazing. The Fukushima thing really blew it up, you know, and you started to create credibility, the vloggers, who was credible and who was not, who was just rant, but who was getting things right, and you started to create a community. I created this huge community. I've got a bunch of journalists and a bunch of vloggers. Well, we all got together talking a while back about the Amanda Knox case, and we all kind of talked, and all the vloggers kind of had a secret little code. Not many of us said anything. We all kind of just shut up, because you never know who watches these videos. We sure didn't want to influence popular opinion in any way, any of us. I don't care if you're watching, we get 2 views or 20,000 views. You don't know who's watching right there. So everybody was just kind of quiet and just kind of prayed. You know, we'd all, you know, like I said, this is a case that meant a lot to us baby boomers because we all have daughters like her, and we could all relate, and this was all about a grotesque injustice. It was grotesque. Well, like I said, Aaron Burnett has her show. Mark Haynes' heart blew up like a freaking bomb as he laughed at freaking death. You know, and it's too bad. God bless him. You know, he had some qualities I did like about him, but you know, I was interested in her show because the CNBC propaganda machine. She's an ex-Saks employee. Oh my God! Let me tell you, you cable news, you got nothing to worry about her. This show ain't gonna lie. Pathetic. She better move to Fox. Holy cow! She goes down to Wall Street and tries to delegitimize this movement. The whole show is delegitimize. Then she goes off on tariffs and says, all us Walmart shoppers, everything. Wow! How removed is she? Then she gets Trump on her show. How out of the freaking contemporized freaking mainstream is this one? She is so removed from reality. Holy cow! Just like the rest of fucking Wall Street. My God! And then she brings on this Avalon, and he's supposed to be a socioeconomist. I have a PhD in socioeconomics, U.S. economic history. Taught at the #1 school of business in the country for years. Graduated with 27 of the #1 school business in the country that year. Anyway, I forgot more than this asshole. He makes this, get this. He says, well, the populist movement, the left populist movements in the history of this country tend to just turn people off. And the right populist movement has always been a big piece of America. Are you a fucking moron? Really? Really? If you was in my class, I would throw you off campus. That is the most ignorant. That is fucking third grade ignorant. Let's review. The 3 greatest populist movements in American history. In the last 100 years, the greatest populist movement in American history, bar none, nothing's even close, was the great left movement. It's called the New Deal, fucker. Did you skip the 3rd grade? The New Deal. Okay, the second biggest populist movement was the 1960s movement that gained the Jim Crow South, that ended Vietnam, that created the strongest middle class in the world. Yeah, the last populist movement we had, the great conservative movement. Let's compare. What did those 2 left populist movements create? The strongest middle class in world history, no debt, the happiest people, the strongest economy in world history. What did yours create? 14 billion and trillion in fucking debt, mass murder fucking wars, hatred of fucking Americans. We can't even travel, no people want to spit in our face. What have you created? Obesity epidemic, ruined the food chain, Fukushima fucking plutonium flowing over the fucking top of us. You know, I mean, how ignorant are they? The cable news is so done in this country. It is so done, it's over. Alternative media is mowing these fuckers down so fast, and I wonder why. It's about credibility. They don't have any. Then they go off on tariffs, and they says, oh God, tariffs, you know, Schumer put up a bill, and the Republicans just laugh at it, and they put up a chart. They says, okay, John King, right before she comes, puts up on a chart. If we have tariffs, 2 million jobs have left here and gone to China, which that number is so skewed, it's much more than that. Okay, we'll use their number. 2 million jobs, what would that make the unemployment rate go from 9.1 to 7.1, which is nothing to sneeze at, but let's get real. Let's get real. As an economist, no economist can even argue this with me. None on the left, right, whatever. It can't be argued. It's been quantified over and over and over. It's called the multiple effect. The multiple effect is 5. It is 5. It's been 5 for generations. What does that mean? Okay, say you got a plant in Ohio. It shuts down. You lose 1,000 jobs out of that plant. The multiple effect creates 5,000 jobs. More, so it's a total of 6,000. That's fact. Gilded and gold, cast in concrete. Fact! Okay, so let's use their skewed number. 2 million. And not to mention the underemployed. But okay, say we can, the multiple, that's 10 million jobs. If we had $10 million to the economy right now, what does that put the U.S. economy at? Full employment. Full employment. Then businesses start to rise. This is how far ignorant we move. And let me tell you, so you try to delegitimize this populist movement and say, oh, look at these stupid ass hippies. They're just dummies. They don't know. She interviews this kid and he says, I'm a software writer. I'm out of work. And she's like, well, did you know that TARP actually was successful? And then she goes off in support of the TARP. Wow. Wow. How removed? She supports TARP. She supports Donald Trump. She supports Walmart in her show. Wow. How removed. Wow. It just shows you how arrogant these freaking ex-Wall Streeters and these freaking sacks fucking far removed they are from fucking reality. It is pathetic. And as far as back to Amanda Knox, she's going to be a freaking, you know, whether she likes it or not, and there's no doubt in my life she's going to end up being a major success, whatever she is. Incredible young woman. What a beautiful story this is going to end up being. Granted, all that pain she had to go through. What an incredible young woman. She's the icon of a generation. This young generation from 30, like I said, I taught for years, they are powerful. The guy who wrote the article in Time Magazine, the second new greatest generation, you guys know I've been putting up videos for that for a year and a half saying exactly that. It is so true. It is so true. They are powerful, and she's going to be an icon of that. They are powerful. Look what we left them. And, you know, and then we want to freaking laugh. I mean, no, not me. I love you young people. And you know, I guess it's going to be like the CCC. You're going to have to freaking support our dumbasses. Look what we handed over to you. It's sad. You know, it wasn't all of us. I tried. Post-ignorance, Kevin Blanchard.